Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is R. Vermill 47, Robert Vermillion, come to you from Dallas, Texas, on June the 24th, 2012. It is 4:04 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Well, I talked about Debby yesterday. She is still Tropical Storm Debby, a high-end tropical storm, and will probably reach a hurricane status over the next 24 hours. What's driving most forecasters crazy is probably paying attention to models, because yesterday we all were pretty sure that it was going to get hung up or drift enough southwest that it was going to miss out on any upper level features that were coming through the United States that would have tugged it this way. Yesterday we kind of thought it was drifting back this way. There's an upper level low here that was going to go ahead and drop south or be absorbed. And what's happening is that she's kind of drifted northeast a little. The more she drifts northeast, the better chance that she is going to get caught up by the upper level jet that is dipping into the southeastern sections of the United States. Now, today's forecast model runs, and again, I should kick myself in the butt for going too much by model run. Also for wanting it to come to Texas, because we can use the drought-breaking rain, especially in central Texas. But I'm just thinking now that she's not going to do it. Now we have more stuff flaring up down here, but this is really being sucked into her, and it looks at this point that Debby is probably going to do Florida. And maybe go through southeastern Georgia and then out into the Atlantic. And if that's going to happen, we should start seeing much more of a northerly drift, either completely stationary, maybe a northerly drift or northeasterly drift, and we'll know that she's hooked up with that upper level low. Here's a look at the upper level features. This is at the 300 millibar height, which is at jet stream level. Here's Mr. Wonderful High that's baking us here in the Central Plains in Texas. But it's almost like the Omega Block you've heard me talk about. We've got the storm system coming in to the Pacific Northwest, and I hope my Oregon folks up there are doing okay. Also, we see that it comes over and then gets down here. Well, it's picking up a little now on Debby here, and the thing is that will she drift far enough north to finally get caught by this system here? Because this is a pretty good jet streak here, which is coming down, which means there's a little more digging for this to go. Now, not that much, but enough digging that if she sits there long enough or drifts to the north or northeast long enough, she will get caught up in the upper level winds, and then she'll be out here, and that'll be all she wrote. Now, we've got this again. We've got this little upper level low stuck right here, and it's another thing that's causing shear, and she's going to want to run away from shear. All storms try to get away from shear as much as they can, because it rips them apart, hence the name shear. But the change of winds with level and height, and it's just showing that the top parts of the western side of her is still just taking a beating from this little weak upper level low. If it had moved out of the way some, and this flattened out, if this ridge would flatten out, then the forecast that I talked about yesterday would be more of a possible forecast, where she would come on down and either move into Texas down here, or even, my dream would be that she'd come up here and give us lots of rain here in Texas and kill out some of the drought that's still happening. Although here in North Texas we're doing pretty good. But anyway, I digress. Just wanted to show you this, just because what's probably happening is she's going to be caught up in this. I hate flip-flopping on forecast, but that's what a weather forecaster does, is you look at things and go, it doesn't quite look like it's going to do that today as what it looked like it was going to do yesterday. Okay, here's the this is the official track now from the Hurricane Center, which updated at 4 o'clock, which was 11 minutes ago by my clock. And when I first started making this video, I had taken a look at this map, and this was forecast to go still this way. So now the National Hurricane Center is picking up, living or just a storm, and maneuver straight up into the Florida Panhandle. Again, when the models are this confused, and climatologically, this time of the year, storms that form in this area, generally this far east of this longitude line, they end up going off to the northeast. She probably is going to do that. Now it shows her moving northeast and then due north. I hold a lot of that as a grain of salt. It looks less and less likely that it is going to even come west, but I believe she may end up either sitting here, strengthening, and probably going off that way. But let's look at a couple of the ensemble models and some of the other hurricane models to show you how confused they are. Well, let me go ahead and show you first the coordinates and some of the stats on the storm as of the 4 p.m. Central or 5 p.m. Eastern discussion and reading and forecast. Again, as I showed you, this is the National Hurricane Center's forecast track here. Now this map is courtesy of Weather Underground. That's wunderground.com, which is an excellent site to get weather data. Right now she's got wind gusts to 70 miles an hour. Well, that's 4 miles below a hurricane, but that's gusts. Right now she's just mainly got some strong tropical storm strength winds of 55 miles per hour. She's moving northeast at 3. There's that northeasterly curve. 993 millibar. It's a decent low. Not that low, but it's a decent low. So she's hanging in there as just a medium to a high medium tropical storm. Now let me show you some of the confusion and models. Now this model is still based on 2 p.m. Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Time input, but you can see we still had 2 outlying models taking her to the west, but the majority taking her off to the east, and the main track again on this one that looks most normal, as that's such a thing, is this one here. I believe I can zoom in here. Yes. Okay. The white line here is probably going to be the one of the best bets off of this, and this is from the ship's model. That's one of the I believe that is one of the Navy models. Even the blue, the GFDL, that's another Navy GAPS model. The GFS, which is what almost every forecaster just defaults to because it's supposed to be the ever wonderful U.S.'s global forecast system, which has been in place now for about 4 or 5 years, and it still doesn't know how to forecast the weather because they just have a lot of stuff wrong in it. But it still gets it right every now and then. I mean, we can all sit there. I could say it was going to rain. I could forecast rain every day, and I'd get it right one of these days. So we'll kind of look at models that way sometimes too. But again, consensus now is showing more of the easterly track, and again, climatologically speaking, which is what normally happens with storms that form in this region this time of the year, would take it off that way. So right now, that's kind of the way it's looking, folks. So here's your alerts. They still have a tropical storm warning now from Louisiana all the way down to the central western sections of Florida. Now, with the outer bands today, there's been quite a bit of tornadic activity. Again, tropical induced tornadic activity on the west coast of Florida. That will continue with outer banding, and could even actually extend that up into the right here in the I forget what I think there's a certain name for that little area in the Gulf But when the bands come on land, they tend to do the twist and fall, and it makes your tornadoes that you get. They don't live very long, but they still can do damage. Probably some decent tidal high tides tonight, or at next high tide. And here, just as the winds are going around it this way, it's piling water up this way. So again, there's your watches and warnings. And again, it's just a tropical storm warning. There's no hurricane watch or warning out for anybody. With gusts to 70, though, you're getting close to hurricane winds. So that's just something to keep an eye on. West coast of Florida, panhandle of Florida, I would say y'all are probably in the best situation to get hammered out by Debby. And for us over here to the west that are baking in the sun and could use the rain too, are not going to get it from this. But Florida definitely can use rain. It's been in a pretty good drought, and so has southern Georgia. So this is still good news for you folks over here. I hope you get some good rains. Now, where she does come on shore, there's going to be a minuscule storm surge, but still piling up water. You're still going to get a little inland flooding and some heavy rain. She is a prolific rain producer. Sometimes tropical storms can wind up being more devastating due to floods than they do from wind damage. So again, there's a look again from Weather Underground for right now for the hurricane alerts, tropical storm watches, just all in this area. And we're going to go ahead and leave it at that because chances are, anyway, I'm sorry. That's looks more like a viable option. I just had wishful thinking, wanting her to come over here. Also, I talked about yesterday the Madden-Julian Oscillation, which is an area of disturbed atmosphere that goes around the globe, the equatorial regions, but reaches up on either side of the equator. It's beginning to move on off to the east, so that too would also give me reason to think that she is going to go east more than west. So I flip-flop. What weather forecaster, I guess, doesn't flip-flop? I hate flip-flopping, and that usually just shows I didn't read enough or study enough on one certain storm to see what I thought was going to happen. I was going again more by I want it to come to my direction, but it's not happening, folks. Okay, so here we go. Debbie's going to do Florida. All right, that's it, folks. Again, this is RV 47, Robert, coming to you from Dallas, Texas. Hope y'all have a good one, and just keep an eye on this if you live down there in the Eastern Gulf, because you're going to see some disturbed weather. All right, everybody, y'all take care.